people feel socially excluded from our dance family. So in this video, I will talk about ways we could include everybody. So let's make sure we look after all of our fellow dancers. Hello, my beautiful subscribers. Rasa the dancer is here. Now, of course, all of us want to look after our dance family because our community as a whole is super friendly. That's why we're growing so much and everybody looks after each other. However, there are a lot of different kind of people who come in and they do feel like they're excluded. And I will, in this video, mention a couple of groups of people that might feel excluded, and I'll give you a couple of pointers of how I feel we could include them. Now, if we all come together and address these points, it will just make our community even better. And of course, later in the comments, if you have any other suggestions, it will be greatly appreciated. So let's get it started. The first group of people I'd like to talk about is our beginners. Now, of course, there are some people who are naturally very sociable, and no matter whether they know the dance or it's their first day, they mingle, they talk, and they become part of the group very easy. But that's not necessarily the majority. And our beginners for promoters is bread and butter, as we say, because if they come and they stay, they keep coming back. And in general, for you who've been dancing for a while, you might not be thinking it, but that's why the scene is growing. The more beginners stay, the more we have people to dance with as a whole. So it's absolutely crucial that we put our beginners under our wings and we kind of let them into our world and introduce them to all these fabulous things that we do as dancers. Now, what happens usually, you might not even realize, but you don't naturally gravitate towards beginners to dance. So when they come in, they go to a class, maybe they're not naturally gifted and they really struggle with the class, and maybe they will have fun, but they might be struggling. Maybe it was a small class and there was only a few beginners, so maybe they were not having a lot of social fun. And then they look around and they see all these cool people dancing and doing these crazy things. All everybody's hugging, talking, and whatever, and they feel a particular type of way. And it makes them feel like maybe it's not for them. There's also people who just struggle in general with approaching people and asking people to dance. So the beginners end up being on the side. You will also notice as well that when the class is happening, beginners class is somewhere here, then there's an improver, then there's intermediate. And when the class finishes and the social starts where everybody dances together. But beginners always stay on that side where they had the class and they kind of just do their thing there. So one of the biggest things you can do, and it's a very simple thing to do if you already been dancing for a while, go into that side where the beginners have their class and just ask at least one or two of them to dance. That's only 2 songs out of your life in that evening, but you're making a huge service for somebody who's just starting. If you don't want to have a dance with a beginner for whatever reason, you could at least say, hi, how are you doing? Did you enjoy your class? Yeah, we're here all the time. Make sure you come along. Trust me, it's gonna get better, if it's a struggle or something, so that at least they would feel it's a place where people are nice and everybody's gone through it and they can keep coming back. And of course, if you are a teacher, very important to keep on reminding them, nobody born doing this. Everybody had to learn it. Some are more naturally inclined, some are not. But some of the greatest dancers I know were not naturally inclined in the beginning. So inspiring them as a teacher is also important, but just as a human who's been dancing for a while, coming across the aisle, asking them to dance, or having a short conversation where they maybe will feel more welcomed, it just makes all of the difference. So that, I think, as a first, looking after the beginners is a big one. The second group of people are those who we don't talk very honestly about. And as if you're a subscriber, you already know who I am. I am a kind person, but I speak directly because I think that's the only way to really address something. And if you don't know me, I am not here to insult, I'm here to progress, okay? So in the second group, I'd like to put in the older people, much older, right? I would like to include maybe the people who you wouldn't find beautiful physically. Maybe physically they have some sort of challenge in general, whether it's the size, maybe it's tall, very tall women. Maybe it is some sort of physical challenge that is more challenging for them than it would be for a normal average Joe. Okay? That group of people, you might not realize, but they do feel excluded a lot of the time. The amount of conversations I have with people who saying, I'm not invited to dance because I'm not as beautiful, or I'm not as handsome. I'm not invited to dance because I'm bigger and people are afraid and they don't know what to do. I am too tall, so people are afraid to ask me because they feel like they might have a struggle to dance with me. And that actually, you would think is a small group of people, but it's not. There's a lot of people like that. And I think that we need to remind ourselves that some people are more lucky than others to get a dance. And you don't have to do this. Nobody has to do anything. But I think it's nice to check yourself sometimes and think, am I only inviting beautiful or good dancers or like somebody that I really like? Or am I actually being fair and seeing somebody in the corner standing there and ask them anyway, just because they're standing there? That would make a huge service, because dance community is a community where we heal souls, where a lot of people who struggle with all kinds of mental problems and different things in life, they come there and they heal. There's a lot of love and hug and acceptance. So even though that's the case, when those people with a little bit of more challenging situations will come into the scene, I might not be expressing it in the correct way, so forgive me if it sounds insulting, that's not my intent. But they look at the dance floor and all of these, beautiful girls or really nice dancers or something, they're getting one dance after another, and it's natural. That's how it's always gonna be. That's just the way life is. But not to get any, or like you have to just get out of your way to get any dances. I think it would be nice, not necessary, but nice. I try to do that. Check yourself. Just now and then you have loads of dances, enjoying your night, and you notice somebody that might be standing there for a really long time. It would be nice to check yourself and go and ask them to dance. Again, it just would prove a point that there is enough people to make it seem like it really is as inclusive, the dance scene, as we say it is. And another final group that I have is what I would say, not the best dancers, okay, to put it politely. It's a group of people who struggle to dance. Even if they're dancing for a long time, they find it difficult to get good at it, right? And we can tell that whether dancing off time or they're mixing up the moves, or it just doesn't feel like it's flowing. Maybe the musicality is not there. Maybe it's not interesting. Maybe it's boring. Maybe there's no frame. Maybe whatever that might be, it's that group of people. And I feel like we need to be more kind. Now, let me elaborate, because I really truly feel strongly about this, okay? And my feeling is this. Of course, it is nice to dance with people who dance nice, right? If somebody's leading you wonderfully, oh, how wonderful. And especially if you're not that good and somebody's leading you well, isn't that a gift? And vice versa. If you are not a really good lead and you're dancing with somebody who's a really good follower, you're going to feel magical. You'll be like, I can do anything, right? So, of course, without a doubt, that's great. But if that's the only way you can enjoy a dance, I think we're missing something. Because personally for me, honestly, unless somebody is violent when they're dancing, they're hurting me, smelling, or like long nails cutting me or whatever, or smells bad, or creepy, which is like, something's off there. Besides that, I always have a good time. I feel like if I'm dancing with a person who's doing very basic moves, that's my time to like do weird styling stuff and play with the music or whatever. If I'm dancing with somebody who has off time, that's my way of like, okay, let's see how I can make this happen. I make it like a challenge in my head. It's like, okay, this is going to be one of those. And I find joy in different things because ultimately, if you're a professional dancer, it's different, but the social community of dance is supposed to be for everybody. Not everybody's going to be great, but everybody wants to dance. And it would be nice if we would actually find joy. Like maybe if you're dancing with somebody and it's not really particularly inspiring, maybe you like the song, listen to the song and smile and whatever. Or if, find a way to make it interesting for yourself. But it would be nice if we could include those people and not exclude them, because ultimately they do need to get better for more people to enjoy dancing with them. And they can only do that if they get the dances and they dance with good people. Because when a really, really bad dancer is dancing with a really, really bad dancer, it is hard to improve because none of those two people know what they're doing. But if the person who's not very good is dancing with somebody better, they get the feel for what it's like and they get a little bit of guidance here and there, and it's easier to improve quicker. So, they're not going anywhere. They're going to keep coming dancing, so you might as well serve the purpose and help them out. I don't know. I truly enjoy it. Like I find joy in whether listening to the music or styling, or I'm enjoying the challenge. How am I going to survive this? But I feel like we should include a little bit more the people as well who find it a challenge to dance or are not particularly good, and understand that not everybody progresses as quick as the other person. So give them a little bit of grace and think they just need a little bit more time. And as long as they are not violent, not smelly, don't cut you with nails, and not creepy, I say, let's embrace and let's just go through this together. Et voila, that is my 2 cents about the subject. So if you are lucky enough to feel like you're not excluded from the community, that's great. But now what are you going to do next? I choose to try and make sure that I notice people. You don't have to do it, but it's nice if you do. And if you have any other points that you think other people should know about, leave a comment. In my channel, I love the comments because people read them and they communicate, and we actually learn more. Even I learn more than I know just by other people expressing their opinions. So let me know what you think about this subject. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Tell your friends about it if they dance. And I'm going to leave you here with other videos where it talks a little bit more of how you should behave on the dance floor. So check them out, and I will see you very soon. Thank you.